Okay, so it's been about a year since I made a video, and I'm sorry I've been away for so long. I saw a few new Flintknapping videos on YouTube, and it kind of got me motivated to get back into this. And also the 1 year span was kind of a nice even number. Anyway, what I'm going to discuss in this video is something I keep getting questions about is, you know, where did I develop, or how did I develop my napping style, and a couple of definitions that I'm using and I'm going to be using in my future videos. But for now, I'm just going to give you a kind of an update in this video. I'll start the regular Flintknapping in the future videos. I'm going to give you an idea of what I've been reading and what my favorite books are, and a couple of my takes on different techniques. So again, sorry to be away for so long. Let me just start by showing you the books that my favorite books right now that I think everyone should have in their library when researching projectile points. And most of these are by Noel Justice. This one is Stone Age Spear and Arrow Points of California and the Great Basin. Another one by Noel Justice, Stone Age Spear Points and Arrow Points of Southwestern United States. Same author. This one is Mid-Continental and Eastern United States. I refer to those three books all the time, and I think their format is very well laid out, very easy to read, very user-friendly. And I'm probably going to go over or use the same format for my definitions on different points. What they do is they show the region the point is located, what culture it's associated with. They call them clusters, and the age and the way it's flint-knapped. There's actual good flint-knapping information in those books on what type of flaking, pressure, indirect, direct percussion, and so forth. It's pretty up to date, so I like those books a lot. I picked one up from a used bookseller. I don't know how many of these are still around, by William Ritchie, The Archaeology of New York State. It's kind of an old book. I think the copyright's in the 70s, but it's still got a lot of information on northeast points that you won't find in other places, especially photographs of actual archaeological digs. For Texas points, I'm constantly referring to this one. You can see how well used it is. So I recommend this one here, Stone Artifacts of Texas Indians by Hester and Turner. Okay, so as far as the questions about indirect, I get, there must be a lot of new people on the internet, because I constantly get questions about how do I start napping, and what do I do, and what videos can I watch, and what are your influences, why do I nap a certain way. And all I can say is just do a search for Flintknapping on YouTube, and there's literally hundreds of videos. My influences, my main influences, I think I've said this in a different video, but Marty Reeder was the first one I watched a lot. His videos go back to 2006 or 2007. That's about when I started watching Flintknapping videos. He was the first one, and then Jim Wynn. I saw some videos by Mike Dothiger on a channel called Caveman Wannabe, I think, but I think he has his own website, spiritofthewind.com or something like that, where he has all his videos. But a guy by the name of Ed Minister has also posted a compilation of his videos on YouTube. You can just type in Ed Minister Flintknapping, and I think it'll come up. But I'll post a link to the videos I discussed in the description of this video, so you'll be able to see them. So back to the indirect percussion. That's the style that I favor to this day I still favor that style, and I'm developing my techniques and integrating my research with the indirect percussion to see if what I'm doing is actually matching real artifacts. I collect some artifacts, and most of them are broken, like this one. But the good thing about broken points is you can see the cross section. You can see there's different classes of cross sections. The archaeologists have different classifications for these. This one here is lenticular, which means it's round, convex on both sides. There's also plano-convex, which is flat on one side, rounded on the other side. There's also flattened or flat, which means large flakes were removed from both sides during the early stages of flint knapping that particular point, and it appears to be flat. And they just bevel the edges, or resharpen the edges, trim it down, and don't mess with the thickness in the middle. There's also biconvex, which is lenticular, but it's a thick lenticular cross section. And another type is a diamond shape, which is thick, but it looks more like a diamond. It has a central ridge on both sides. But I'll discuss that more later. This is a Texas point, which is pretty common. I do mainly Texas points and use Texas material because that's where I am, and that's what I have available. In the research I've been doing, it appears that most projectile points before true arrowheads, are about this size or smaller. So this is 4 inches by 1 1/4 inches. I don't know if you can see that. The vast majority of projectile points are this size and smaller. So when I was developing my technique, I was trying to work pretty tough material like cobbles and odd-shaped nodules to try to make these points, and without losing too much material. So I started with abo, and I developed my technique to conserve material. I didn't have large pieces. After I used abo for a while and found that I was, having to buy a lot of antler, and I was going through a lot of material, and my tools had to be maintained quite a bit, I switched over to copper, and it became what a lot of people now call just plain indirect percussion. Now this is the flaker. Some people call this the indirect percussion ishi stick. Some people call it the quote-unquote experimental indirect percussion tool. Whatever you want to call this, it can be made different ways. A lot of people are using Delrin, and you can buy the Delrin type from a guy online. Kentucky Flintworks has these under indirect percussion ishi sticks. I don't sell these, but he sells those, and I recommend you pick one up if you want one right away. Otherwise, you can make them yourself out of plastic or Delrin. This right here is ultra high molecular weight plastic with a 1/4 inch tip. And the way I use this, and the way I developed the technique, is I put this under my knee. I don't know if you can see that in the frame, but if you see someone using this method, it's probably because they've seen some of my videos. The closest other person I've seen to use this type of indirect, which I call horizontal supported indirect, supported because it doesn't fall away after you hit it, because it's held in a supported position. The only other person I've seen to use something similar is Marty Reeder, and I'll post a link to his video in the description. But he uses a large flaker like this, made of elk beam. I wish I had a piece of elk antler this big. I gotta settle for, pieces like this. But anyway, what he does in that video is he puts it under his leg like this and tightens up this strap and holds it like that, and he uses a hammerstone and his workpiece on the side like this and strikes the end of it with a hammerstone. Now, I thought I had a little core here, but he was reducing a core with this technique. Now, it's a little bit uncomfortable unless you have something to put under your leg that's pretty high. One advantage of this technique is you can support the core on your leg, and also that support kind of cradles the flakes coming off, so they hold together better. It's actually a very, very good technique, but I wanted something a little bit more comfortable. I didn't have large pieces of antler, so my best option was to, put it under my knees so I can grasp smaller objects like smaller antler tines and flint knap that way. Sorry, my dog is in the way down here. But anyway, I call these supported horizontal indirect percussion flakers or punches. These are punches. And I used two sizes primarily, 1/8 inch copper and 1/4 inch copper. I did buy some 3/8 copper and 1/2 inch copper to try to make flakers out of them. I might do that in the future. Some of you guys are already getting ahead of me in using these. I strike them with a mallet. When I'm flint knapping, I strike them with the same kind of plastic on a mallet, but you can use antler too. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. I'm going to go more into depth into the different techniques, and I've also been trying to practice more with abo, and instead of waiting until I'm ready to show you some really cool stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and film myself getting back into the swing of things. I'll probably be a little rusty to begin with, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it and then start cranking out more videos and hopefully get back into the swing